Hello.
Hi.
Deputy Vincent, Douglas County. How you doing? Okay.
I was in the left-hand lane. I was in the right-hand lane.
Driving in the left-hand lane.
Coming from where?
East. I was east from Holly. East. I was going west.
Driving east.
Any alcohol for you tonight?
No.
How many drinks did you have at Los Dos?
One. A skinny, like that much.
He backed into me.
Did he hit your car or not?
He backed up into my car.
Him backing up at the light and me going forward, we met in the middle.
He didn't back up the light. He was stopped. Did you intentionally hit his car?
I feel like we were both going forward.
Why didn't you stop and exchange information?
Look, sweetie,
It's fine.
Sir.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. Today's story was submitted by a viewer named Luke, who on February 26th of 2022 was driving home when he alleges that a vehicle purposefully rear-ended his brand new truck at a red light after a simple road rage incident.
Can you describe the accident to me? What happened?
Yes, we were driving out and she was going pretty slow in the left-hand lane, and so I passed her and then got in front of her. There was a good probably 3 cars between us. She stopped behind me about the same distance you and I are here, started flipping me off, which, again, I don't feel like I was that close to her. And then, so I stuck my finger out and flipped her off, which I get. I probably shouldn't have done that.
Okay.
Then she kept creeping closer and closer and closer, and then she hit me. I got out of my vehicle to get her license plate and, you know, to get her information. Then she kept revving her engine and hitting me, like revving her engine while she was behind me. Then I go to the...
How many times did she hit your car?
Like 3 or 4?
I would say 3 or 4. No, it's not. It wasn't like back up and ram in, back up and ram in. It was she would let off the gas and then go forward. Yeah. So I got out and took a video of it.
Luke then exits his vehicle to film the woman's license plate. Unfortunately, there is no other footage of the incident, which should serve as a reminder to get yourself a dashcam, especially because the woman fled the scene. Luke began following her while he called 911.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
I was rear-ended at county line in Quebec, and this lady hit and run, and I'm still following her. Can someone in Parker pull her over? Because she's continuing to drive away. We're actually behind a fire truck right now that has their lights and sirens on. I don't know if a cop can go towards them and pull her over. And now she's slamming on her brakes trying to get me to hit her. Stopped in the middle of the road.
Okay.
She's driving like a fucking crazy woman. How about I turn my hazard lights on so they can see me? I'm in a 1500 Ram Limited 2022 black, and I'm right behind her.
Police officers were then dispatched to stop the woman.
This is going to be for the hit and run that occurred westbound East County Line Road in Quebec that started in Arapahoe County. RP is continuing to follow the suspect vehicle.
We have 3 deputies that are trying to get over to you, so...
Okay.
For over 10 minutes, Luke continued to follow the woman. Other than allegedly brake checking him and failing to maintain her lane, she followed all traffic laws, stopping at stop signs and lights. Finally, officers catch up with them and pull the woman over. After asking Luke what happened, the officers approach the woman, who immediately flashes her police ID card and denies an accident ever occurred.
Hello.
Hi.
Deputy Vincent, Douglas County. How you doing? Okay.
All that to say is he's followed me all the way from 470 in Quebec.
Okay.
And he's been...
Did you call us?
Apparently he did.
Okay.
I did not.
How do you know he did?
He's been following me since 470 in Quebec.
Okay. So he's following you because you were involved in a motor vehicle accident with him and
I was
didn't
not.
stop.
Not at all.
Okay. You see your driver's license, registration, and insurance, please?
Is he behind you?
Yes, he is.
That sounds
What does that say to you?
He's followed me with his brights on and his blinkers since 470 in Quebec, trying to...
He's trying to get you to pull over because he believed he was involved in an accident with you.
That's not at all.
Okay.
I was, real quick, I was driving down county line. He was on my ass.
Okay.
I was in the right-hand lane, driving perfectly the speed limit.
Okay.
He pulled right in front of me.
Okay. And you didn't strike his vehicle?
He backed into me. I don't know what that says.
Okay.
After denying there was a collision, the woman now claims that Luke backed into her, and that she left because she didn't feel a need to obtain his information for any possible damages.
So after he backed into you, why didn't you stop and exchange information?
It wasn't.
It wasn't what?
I didn't feel like it was. We were needing to exchange information.
Okay, find your information for me.
She now claims that she was headed towards the Parker Police Department where she worked as a victim's advocate. Though the Lone Tree Police Department was just 3 minutes away from the accident, the Parker Police Department was nearly half an hour away, and she had to pass through Arapahoe's district to get there, causing this incident to include 4 different law enforcement agencies. Her path of travel also seems to indicate that she had no intention of going to a police station, as it appears she was circling her own residence.
Where did this happen where he hit your car?
You say he hit my car.
Well, you said he backed into you, so did he not hit your car?
It was like this.
What does this mean? Did he hit your car or not?
I think we made contact, but there was nothing more than, I think
Okay,
it's
wherever that happened, where was it?
470 in Quebec.
Okay, on 470 or on Quebec, which direction were you going?
I was going I was actually going west on County Line.
West on County Line.
I think it's very interesting and somewhat scary that he's followed me this whole way.
Okay. Well, he's doing what he's supposed to do after having an accident. So, just...
Wait, hold on just a second.
Sure.
He's following me with his blinkers on and his brights on.
Yes, ma'am. ID, please. Insurance, please.
I think that's very interesting that he hits me and you're the one asking for my information.
I'll be asking for his information as well.
Okay.
Where are you coming from tonight?
470 in Quebec.
What's over at 470 in Quebec tonight?
I'm gonna have to show you my. Hold on. Sorry.
What's at 470 in Quebec tonight?
I was out with friends.
Okay. Any alcohol for you tonight?
No.
Can I see your Parker ID badge as well, please?
Yep. He was actually very frightening, and so I was headed to the Parker Police Department because he was scaring me.
Okay, I can understand
because
that.
He followed me the whole way.
Okay.
And so I understand how this goes, and so I was trying to remove myself from the situation because he got out. Sorry, I'm looking for my. He got out of his car and was filming me because he pulled right in front of me.
Okay. I'm gonna have a chat with him and then I'll get back with you, okay?
A few minutes later, another officer asks for her account of the incident. Her story changes yet again, and she continues to make sure they know she's a victim's advocate for the Parker Police Department, and now admits to drinking.
Hi, man. My name's Officer Odom, Parker Police Department. Hi. Do you mind just running me through what happened again?
I'm driving east on County Line. Is that County Line? East on County Line.
Okay.
I feel like I'm driving the speed limit. I was in the left-hand lane. Hi. I'm a VA for you all. I hate it.
He's in training, so I got to stand close and
I
monitor.
love this. No. And I appreciate it, and you guys put up with so much. So, east on County Line, going to towards Quebec.
Okay.
Driving in the left-hand lane. I feel like I'm driving the speed limit. He's on my ass, right? And so he pulls around me, stops immediately, and frankly, I'm afraid because then he gets out of his car and starts taking pictures of me in my car. I don't know what that's about, other than, yes, our cars made contact. I feel like he pulled up and made contact with my car. I'm like, okay.
How did he make contact
I feel
with
like
your car?
he backed up into my car at the light.
Okay. Where were you coming from?
A restaurant with friends. Los Dos Patrios.
Okay. How many drinks did you have at Los Dos?
1.
Okay, what was it?
A margarita.
Okay.
I'm fine, truly.
Right. How big would you say it was?
One. A skinny, like that much. Over 430.
What time was it at?
4:30 to now.
Okay, and you got it when you first got there?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm fine, truly.
Right.
He scared me.
Right.
So.
Okay, well, I'm going to step back here and talk to them. We're just waiting on Arapahoe to come out and take the accident report since it happened in Arapahoe.
I think that's so... Okay.
Yeah, so it's their jurisdiction. We have... We can't write the report for...
And he's frustrated because he's like... I'm sorry.
I mean, because the vehicles made contact...
And he took a picture of it and he showed you the picture.
And there's damage, so yeah, it's an accident.
Who's damaged?
There's damage on his car.
May I look out and see?
No.
Not right
you
now.
need to stay in
There's
here.
Especially if you were nervous about it following you, I don't think you should probably go back there. But Arapahoe County will come out and take it and go from there.
Let me... What kind of damage?
It's minimal paint damage to his bumper from where the video contact shows. So.
Sorry, you guys have to...
Oh, you're fine. No problem.
No, seriously, with stuff like this.
That's what we get paid to do. It's our job.
But you shouldn't... How old are you all?
I'm 24.
See?
Yeah. I'll give you a guess.
Not much older than you.
30.
30, yeah. So, I apologize that you all have to do this.
Not a problem.
No.
You don't need to apologize for that.
No, I do.
It's not a bother at all.
No, it is. It absolutely is. So I apologize, and I'm fine as far as driving.
All right. Hang tight for this view, okay? We'll get them out here as soon as they can. Sometimes a little slower. It'll be an accident report.
And so I have to sit here for an accident report. And what does that mean? Are they going to come to me?
So accidents have to be reported, right? Otherwise, it becomes like hit and run charges and all that junk. So
no, truly, I'm going to ask this. I feel like he's trying to prove a point or something. I don't know that's like frustrating, so frustrating.
it's two very different stories. Like I said,
What did he say? Do tell.
The opposite, that you hit him versus he hit you.
Okay.
So.
And there's like minimal paint damage, and so we're wasting your time.
No, it's still an accident. That's what our job is, to take those reports. It's part of our policies and procedures. Now, it's not ours tonight because it didn't happen here. But if it had happened here, it would be ours. So we're hanging out just until Arapahoe gets here, and that's it.
I hope that your time is better spent. Because I know
every day is different.
No, and I'm aware.
So
I'll just...
We'll get them here as quick as they can. Arapahoe's slow. Sometimes those are really bright. I agree. That's why I'm using his body to block them. So.
and maybe you could turn them off? Like
if he was one of my guys, I would, but he's Douglas County, so I don't know.
Who's Douglas? That guy's
the guy behind you.
So, because you guys went through a portion of Douglas County, so they got alerted. It was just but we'll get them here as soon as they can. They said it's Arapahoe County. Sometimes they push back. Not a waste.
Both parties filled out their official statements, but the woman was never asked to perform field sobriety tests or submit to a chemical test, despite now changing her story a third time when an officer approaches once again to ask what happened. This time, the officer claims that Luke recorded the incident. With that information, though false, she now claims that they were both traveling forward when they collided and agrees to pay any damages to his vehicle.
So you were coming from where?
East. I was east from Holly, east to county line, to Quebec, on county line.
Okay, coming from Holly, going to Quebec.
Contact with him at right at Quebec at the light there.
Okay, what happened at the light, or what happened prior to the light?
So, truly, I was in the left-hand lane, speed limit, maybe a little above.
That's fine.
I'm so sorry. He was right behind me, and I'm very aware of this, whatever. So he, pulls around me at the light, it turns red, he stops. That's when we make contact. And
he stopped, and then that's when you made contact?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you make contact?
We were very close.
Why were you so close?
Because I think we were grumpy at each other.
What's that?
We were grumpy at each other, to be honest.
Why were you grumpy at each other?
Well, because he's tailgating me.
Uh-huh.
And then he pulls right in front of me. And truly, at that point, Then he got out of his car and like was videoing us, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I just want to.
Okay. You skipped over some stuff though
Okay.
there. So he was grumpy, you were grumpy, he was tailgating you, and then
him backing up at the light and me going forward, we met in the middle somewhere.
he didn't back up at the light. He's got it all on video.
Okay. Well, regardless, he didn't have him tailgating me at light. But regardless,
But he didn't back up at the light. He was stopped.
Okay, well, fine. He didn't also have him tailgating me, but that's
So
fine.
did you intentionally hit his car?
No, I did not intentionally hit.
So how did your car hit his?
I feel like we were both going forward. If I need to, if he has damage, I will pay for the damage. I don't.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out whether you're going to be cited for traffic offense or for a misdemeanor crime.
Ooh, a misdemeanor crime? Like if I intentionally,
Yep.
I mean, I'm not.
That would be. I'm sorry. It would be damage to property.
Okay. I feel like that's not, because.
I kind of feel like it is.
Really?
Yes, because you repeatedly, intentionally pushed into his car.
Okay. I don't feel like it was. I feel like, the context is not there as far as what he provided to the situation. So.
Okay, so did he back up or did he not?
I feel like he did, but I wasn't taking video of it. So all I know is at one point he pulled in front of me. Between him coming back and me going up, I mean, why is he videoing at this point?
Why would he back his brand new truck up into another car
Why
intentionally?
would he tailgate me? Look, sweetie,
It's fine.
Sir, I'm not going to argue this with you. I feel like he and I were both at fault there, and I will own my part of it.
Okay.
And so whatever you feel like you need to write up, there's bigger things in this world to worry about, and so
Okay.
I don't want to waste your time.
Okay.
I feel like he and I are both at fault there. So I know what you guys have to deal with on a daily basis, and this is just ridiculous. And so you feel like, please do what you feel like you need to do.
Okay. Give me just a few minutes.
Thank you.
She thought you were tailgating her, which is why she flipped you off.
Okay.
And then you whipped around and got in front of her, and then that's when your vehicle's contacted or whatever the case is.
Right.
So I don't think you backed up into
Absolutely
her.
not. Did not.
But she is, neither here nor there now at this point as to whether or not you backed up.
Okay, so she didn't. She said I did. Now she's saying I may have. I may not have.
She can't make up her mind. I pressed her and lied and said you had video showing her backing up, and she still didn't 100% admit to it. So, and she couldn't describe it. She didn't say reverse lights came on or anything like that.
Okay.
So.
Now, is there any repercussions for her leaving the scene of an accident?
Yep, she's going to be cited for leaving the scene of an accident, failed to notify police, and careless driving.
Oh, so she didn't even call the cops whenever she was. Okay, so in this accident, who's at fault? Is it?
Well, she's going to be the at-fault driver.
Oh, perfect.
The woman was charged with failure to report, leaving the scene of an accident, and careless driving. However, nearly 2 months later, on April 6th, officers reviewed the incident, and the woman was given a new summons with more appropriate charges for reckless driving and criminal mischief, both Class 2 misdemeanors.
After a review of the case with my supervisor, he believed the charges weren't appropriate, so I'm going to give you a new summons and a new court date, which is going to be June 1st, 8:30 in the morning, Douglas County Court, and that is for reckless driving and criminal mischief for damage $300 to $1,000. Okay.
Soon after, Luke was made aware that the district attorney's office dismissed all charges against the woman, despite all the evidence.
I don't understand how she's getting away with. I mean, she left the scene of an accident that she caused, and I still don't understand how she's getting away with leaving the scene of an accident scot-free.
So when Mr. Franklin originally brought this case to me and I took a look at it as well, we've got a number of concerns, and one of them quite frankly is how long you proceed to follow her even after Colorado State Patrol tells you to back off.
Correct.
I'm not saying that her behavior itself was justified in the instance, but we have a woman driving by herself who leaves. When she talks to police, she talks about she was quite frankly worried that something was going to happen. I think that both sides, from what the reports are saying, got a little bit overheated. I think it technically fits the letter of the law in terms of, she didn't remain. But when we look at these kinds of cases, we look at kind of the surrounding factors to include why that person didn't remain, and ultimately kind of what ended up happening. She did not have alcohol indicia when police actually stopped her, contacted her. So we had a DUI instance.
Driver of vehicle 1 is possibly under the influence, but they're going to have to do that investigation.
How many drinks did you have at Los Dos?
1, a skinny, like that much.
Quite frankly, we're looking at kind of a road rage issue where there is a scenario where we could have charged you as well. And I think that the easiest way was to kind of just
So what would the charge have been on me?
So she's also saying that you backed up into her, so we could potentially have had careless driving or reckless. I mean, we've got kind of this road rage instance going on. It's just,
because
I think it was all very
whenever she spoke with insurance, I mean, I recorded the phone calls with insurance, and insurance said that she said nothing about me backing into her, because that's what she told the police officer in the very beginning, but she recanted her story whenever he asked her what she would say if I had, which I didn't have a dash cam in my truck, which I do now, because this incident has taught me that lesson, that I will absolutely not ever get in this situation ever again. But the officer asked her, well, what if I was to tell you that he had footage of the incident? And then she completely recanted her story and backed off, because that's absolutely not true. But whenever she spoke with insurance, she admitted that she made contact with my vehicle. She never mentioned to them that I supposedly backed into her. So that's where it's super frustrating, is she's changing her story depending on who she's talking to benefit her.
I hear that, but ultimately, if this were to go to trial, and quite frankly, any offer we would have made on this would have resulted in trial, we would never have succeeded on this case. A jury is going to look at it and just say, like, yep, we've kind of got both people not acting appropriately, even if they think that, like, she's the one that hit you. They're not going to convict on that. And it's just one of those where, like, we could either kind of get this handled and resolved right now, or it could be another year of kind of getting, your expectations and your hopes up and things like that. This is just not the kind of case that we proceed on.
Okay, so she didn't even get a ticket or anything for the accident?
She, let's see here. We ended up just straight dismissing because we can't prove what happened. Like, and even what you're saying about what she told insurance, that's not something that I can actually admit at court.
It is claimed that the woman ran because she was scared, but she never called the cops for assistance and stopped at all stop signs and lights. It is also claimed that she didn't have signs of alcohol impairment, though she admitted to drinking and changed her story multiple times. The deputy DA never explained why the reckless charge was dropped, but instead told Luke that because the woman said that 2 out of 3 times when she was questioned that Luke backed into her, that Luke could also face charges.
She's pulling the, I'm scared. I'm a female by myself. I'm scared. She had no reason to be afraid. I got out of my vehicle and recorded her continuing to let off the brake and push into my truck. So that's crazy that's going to be a defense. So is that a defense I could use if I get in a wreck and I decide to leave the scene that I was afraid?
If you call it in, yeah.
Did she call the police? Did she call that in?
She did.
Okay, because the officer told me that she never even called the police the whole time. That's why he gave her originally failure to notify police.
She ends up reporting it, so.
Okay.
The deputy DA claimed that the woman reported the accident, but that is false. Evidence shows that she never called the police, unless they failed to issue that recording in Luke's FOIA request, or if she was lying.
Did you call us?
Apparently he did.
Okay.
I did not.
It's also concerning that she's an employee of a police department that she chose to go to that's further away instead of going to the nearest police department.
She is a Parker VA. What?
But again, I guess there's nothing that's going to change your guys' mind to So I guess that's it.
There's not, and quite frankly, the next time the police tell you to stop following somebody, you need to. I mean, we had the license plate number at that point. The police will take over. I really am concerned about these kinds of situations escalating, and concerned for your safety. So I really ask that you take care of yourself.
Overall, we see once again a system that works exactly as intended, where the state will rarely pursue its own. This is the first time I've ever heard of charges being dropped because one party was fearful after possibly causing an accident, or because the DA could have charged someone else on scene also. It's certainly fair to suggest that the evidence doesn't show who caused the initial impact, but because you can see in Luke's video, the woman smirking while revving her engine and pushing her car into Luke's after he exited his vehicle, it's fair to say that a jury could easily find her to be guilty, and the optics of the dismissal are questionable. Let me know what you think down below. Was the woman lying? Was she at fault? Should the officers have investigated the possibility of her driving under the influence a bit deeper? Was the dismissal of the case reasonable? I'm very curious how you all view this incident. But to make sure you're never caught in this position, be sure to check out the links below for my dashcam recommendations. As always, thanks for watching. If you have a video you'd like to submit for review, use the link in the description or pinned comment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for future content. And remember to like, share, and comment down below of what you think of this interaction. It really helps the channel. If you enjoy our content, try our other channels, Lackluster Limited for criminal psychology content, and The Odd Side for paranormal videos. Shirts and other merchandise are available at the Teespring store. Memberships start at just $1 if you'd like to help further support the channel and get a slick Lack logo next to your name. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. All links are down below.